Spirit, God has waited so long for your Spirit wants to hold you, it'll wipe your tears away. When the Father waits with open arms, God is calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, just come on in. Well, this room is not in a house of love for someone just like you. Whoa, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, just come on in. Yeah, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, just come on in.
Good morning, everybody. Normally I say it's so good to see you. It's so good to invisibly see you. All of you Facebookers and live streamers through our website, we welcome you this morning. Go gather up anybody in your household and send some of those instant messages to get your friends to tune in. And let's have a spiritual celebration this morning. This is our 7th week of live broadcasting, and we are just thrilled to be able to present our unity community in this way. So I'm Bev Spivey. I'm a licensed unity teacher and spiritual leader here with my wonderful husband, Reverend Lawrence Palmer. He's here somewhere. We had a time this morning getting set up. We hope the audio is much better on Facebook, as it is on live stream is great. So if you're having problems on Facebook, go to our website, unitypompanobeach.org. Lawrence will be with us in a minute. I want to introduce our wonderful, dedicated musicians under the direction of James McCoy.
Good morning, good morning. We're so grateful to be here. We have John Rose at the keyboards. Once again this morning, Orlando Machado at the drum set. And our featured soloist is once again Karina Iglesias. And what are we doing today? We have music from Babs, from Barbra Streisand, and from Faith Rivera. All right.
And as usual, they are so wonderful, and they're uplifting us with their music. We also have on the premises, back in the corner, is John Guerin, who's been with us every week, volunteering his time to bring live stream to you. Thank you, John. And we have Ron Smith, our Director of Operations, who is managing the Facebook, and as he has moments, he'll be responding to your comments. And we are just all here to just be thrilled to be with you this morning. As we always focus on something for an entire year, this year happens to be the year of perfect vision, centering your thoughts and your ideas on looking out at the world and realizing there are many, many millions of perspectives on that world. You know, it's easy to look at things with spiritual vision when you're on Easy Street, but we're finding that the coronavirus and isolation, staying at home, some of you losing jobs, some of you threatened in your financial world, you know, it's a little bit more difficult to focus with a spiritual lens, and yet we know that is what is required of each and every one of us, to lift up your thoughts away from fear and looking at things from a broader view. Now, in this month, our theme has been interconnection. And as we think about our theme and how we are always connected with each other, this too reminds us of we're finding new ways to be connected. Some of you have had Zoom calls and meetings with people you seldom see or talk to. So there are good things in all of it. So won't you hold this idea in mind? We have an affirmation, and it is like rivers flowing from one source. We are all connected. Hold that in your heart as I say it again. Join me. Like rivers flowing from one source, We are all connected. And let's hold that connection in our mind now as we center with prayer. As we take a breath together and we put aside frustrations and fearful ideas, we put aside griping and fussing about our circumstances, and we realize, indeed, there are still blessings, aren't there? We are grateful for the unexpected blessings, for turning our attention to blessings that we take for granted. And so in this day, we settle into our mind, we settle into our heart, and we know that it is we who must hold that high watch for ourselves and others as we turn our thoughts and our minds to gratitude, to positive things. We feel better, and others around us will feel better, and indeed that positive energy will heal the world. So holding those positive ideas, let's prepare ourselves to enjoy this day and be a joy in this day. And so it is. Amen. And now to our band.
We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the mothers who breathe with the Mother Earth. We are the fathers, blessed with a gentle strength. Sister and brother, respected hand in hand. Sons and the daughters who walk upon this sacred land. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the healers who hear the voice of truth. We are the elders whose wisdom guides our youth. Searchers and seekers with wings spreading to the sun. The shapers and builders whose work for peace is never done. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for.
Well, we hope that you've rounded up everybody in your circle of friends in your household and are ready to sit in with us now for our regular Sunday morning celebration service. We want to welcome you. Again, if you're on Facebook, our website is unitypompanobeach.org, where our live stream is broadcast there all week long. You can tune in and watch it over and over again until next week when we put on the new service. The audios are also available there under the podcast. There's a podcast resource link. As you look at that top menu, you'll see a resource link that you can click on. And the 20-minute or so Sunday lesson that Lawrence or I give is there for the entire year, so you can pick and choose and get some uplift during the week if you like, to hold you in that higher state of mind as we continue to uphold each other in love and connection. So our contact information is also on that website. If you would take advantage of the prayer request form, it is there, and we have a number of prayer chaplains who are dedicated to praying with us always, but especially in this time. They are praying for 10 or 12 of you in mind of our membership, each of them, and anyone who writes into us. They will hold you in prayer, so please take advantage of that on our website. We have some announcements. Power Hour that we've had here for 10 years, in the hour before the service, 9:30 to 10:30, is in kind of a class discussion format. It's led by our licensed Unity teacher, Cynthia Roberts, and she prepares for that all week long. So would you take advantage of Power Hour? If you go to our website, there is a link where you can link on and register. We require registration because we are keeping the Zoom connection secure. The class is for a suggested $10 per week offering, but it's on a donation basis. So if you feel not able to give $10 for the value you receive from that class, please do take advantage of the donate link and donate something else. $0 is okay too. It absolutely is. We also have a guided meditation that our chaplains just started this past Thursday evening. It will continue Thursday at 7 p.m., again by Zoom. And again, we need you to do that link registration through our website. This too is offered for a straight donation, or $0 again is just fine. We want to reach out to everybody with these resources that you can rely on for your spiritual food all during the week. A class that is coming up as we continue our Unity style of teaching, which is credit courses that are available to those taking for Unity credit to study just personal development, or those entering into licensed teacher or even ministry have a curriculum available to them. But it's also wonderful instruction for anyone. And we have a torchbearers program that we're beginning now for those seeking to have a well-rounded personal spiritual development. So I'm going to be teaching 12 powers. Yeah, it's big print too. Large print, Daily Word, comes in a 2-month issue. And we have received our standing order of Daily Word, and we have 6 of those issues left. Normally we sell them for $6, but to cover some postage and handling and the credit card fees, we're asking for $7 for the 2-month May, June Daily Word. You can always get Daily Word on a daily basis when you go to dailyword.com, and that's free on your phone or your computer. But some of us like to have that hard copy to refer to and read other things in it as well. So Daily Word is available for $7 to the first 6 of you who either comment on Facebook or email into our office at unitypb@live.com. If you are a regular here, a member, or a regular contributor, we already have your address, and we'll mail you the Daily Word. So we hope 6 of you will take advantage of that. And now is our usual time for greeting each other. So let us greet each other in that spirit of interconnection as you think about your friends that you normally see at Unity of Pompano, as you think about your circle of friends throughout the community and the United States and the world. We are shouting out a happy birthday to Maximilian today over in Europe, and we love you and we miss you. And anybody else who's out there with celebrations, now's the time to celebrate. As we do one of our standards, if you've been here to services, you've heard this one. So take a moment to celebrate, and when we come back, we'll do meditation and Sunday lesson.
Well, good morning again. I have the privilege of sharing with you the daily word for today. And that word for today's Sunday, April 26th, is release. I release all that does not contribute to my highest good. John's gospel tells us of Jesus restoring life to his friend Lazarus, who had been dead for 4 days. As Jesus cries, "Lazarus, come out!" his friend emerges from the tomb, burial cloths still covering his face and wrapped around his hands and feet. Jesus says to those who have gathered, "Unbind him and let him go." Even after a spiritual resurrection, I may remain bound like Lazarus by thoughts, ideas, feelings, or habits that keep me from the full experience of freedom. Through my divine power of elimination, I release negative feelings, dissolve error thoughts, and free myself from habits and actions that do not serve my highest good. I am no longer bound. I am free. And from John chapter 11, the dead man came out, his hands and feet bound with strips of cloth, and his face wrapped in a cloth. And Jesus said to them, "Unbind him and let him go."
Right now, we'd like to begin a time of prayer and meditation by singing, "You Know the Truth is You."
As the light of God, the love of God surrounds you, you know the truth is you. Let the power of God, the peace of God inside you become the power, holy you. Become the peace, holy you. That is you. As the power of the Christ mind connects you, you know the truth is you. May divine intelligence inside you always guide you to the truth. Let the power of God, the peace of God inside you become the power, holy you. Become the peace, holy you. That is you. That is you. That is you. That is you.
I invite you now, wherever you are, to find a very comfortable position for your body, a position from which you can move your awareness into that deep of your heart, that special place where you meet Spirit. And you know that that place has been prepared for you, and you know that Spirit awaits the arrival of your awareness as you turn from outer things to inner things. And as you give your body permission to relax, it becomes at ease. As you give your mind permission to relax, it comes to ease. With body at ease and mind at ease, your awareness then is completely free to move into that secret place of the Most High, that depth of your heart, and there to know absolute truth in its wholeness, in its completeness. So as you allow your awareness to rest and to commune with Spirit, it is an experience just for you, not like anyone else. So it may be a time of quiet. It may be a time of color and sound and images and feelings. Allow that Spirit to flow within you in the midst of this communion. So as we have prepared, let us now join our hearts in oneness. And now as you prepare to move your awareness to your body, to your space and your time, you know that even an instant during which your awareness is immersed in that deep of your heart, that healing and transformation take place. And you know that you can bring with you into your body, into your mind, into your heart, the essence of this experience in the stillness. And in this coming week, as you choose to, you can return to this experience once again and be blessed all over again. So with a deep sense of gratitude for our being able to join together across the miles, I invite you to take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Exhale slowly through your mouth. I'm ready to open your eyes and we will sing together, Alleluia.
Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
Walk me over this horizon. Let the sun's light warm my face. Once again, the times are changing. Once again, I lost my way. Will the words of ancient poets fall like dust upon my shoes? Greatness robbed me of my vision, turn my heart from higher truths. So take my hand and lift me higher. Be my love and my desire. Hold me safe and honor bound. Take my heart to higher ground. I have walked too long in darkness. I have walked too long alone, blindly clutching fist of diamonds that I found were only stones. I would trade the world of ages for a warmer hand to hold. The path of light is narrow, but it leads to streets of gold. So take my hand share the truth with me. So take my hand and lift me higher. Be my love and my desire. Hold me safe and on about. Take my heart to higher ground.
I'm imagining the thunderous applause that would have followed had you been present here for that. Thank you so much, Karina and band. That was one of those we didn't really want to be over. Wonderful. Well, this month has been about interconnection, and as you heard earlier, our affirmation for the month is like rivers flowing from one source, we are all connected. Now, before we look at connection, or before we look at interconnection, let's first of all look at connection. What is connection? Connection is a joining, a coming together in one point. That is connection for us. And I believe that all of us, each one of us, is connected in several different ways. One of the ways that we are connected is biologically. You have at least two people on this planet that you are or have been connected to, whether you wanted it to be that way or not, and that is your parents, those who brought you here. Now, people have all kinds of different situations about being with their parents. Some people have lost their parents. Some people have been adopted. But down to the very principle of the matter is that each one of us is connected to those two human beings, period. Like it or not, that's the way it is biologically, and we can't change that. So without a doubt, then we are connected, at least in that one place. We're also connected emotionally. If you like someone, you're connected emotionally. If you dislike someone, you're connected emotionally. If you love someone, you're connected emotionally. If you hate someone, you're connected emotionally. This is something interesting that I've shared with a couple of people. When you find yourself really, really disliking someone, just despising someone, it makes a difference if you realize that you are connecting yourself with that person. The depth to which you feel negative emotion towards someone is exactly the same as the depth to which you connect lovingly to someone. You are connected regardless. So that person you think is the most horrible person in the world, as long as you're thinking that, guess what? You're connected to them. Now, hopefully that will kind of shake your head around and make you think twice about that. If you don't want to be connected to that person, if you don't like them so much, then let go of it. Bless them and send them on their way and disconnect from them. Because as long as that emotion is there, you are connected with them. So you might share that with some people that you hear going on and on. We're in contentious times now, and being homebound is kind of intensifying that a little bit. So we hear a lot of negative comments going around. So be careful with yourself and be aware that that's happening with other people too. So you are connected biologically. You are connected emotionally. You are connected socially. You have a role to play in this world, no matter who you are or what you are. You may or may not be a parent, but you all are children. You may or may not have siblings, but some of you are brothers and sisters. Some of you may or may not be nieces and nephews. There is a role for us to play in this world. We all have different kinds of jobs. We do things differently in the world. Some people are self-employed, some work for other people. And some do skill things with their hands, and some do skill things with their minds. But we all have a role to play in this world. So we are connected. We are connected socially. We also are connected spiritually. Each one of you is connected spiritually. Each one of you is one with Spirit. There is no way to diminish that. There's no way to change that. You might not even like that fact, but it is true that you are connected with Spirit in a way that cannot be diminished. It cannot be changed. So we know that as an absolute, and we hold to that. Now, moving from being connected on over to interconnection, where connection is one point, we see interconnection as multiple points. Now, one of the best illustrations I know of being interconnected is our human brain. There are some cells in your brain called neurons, and we have about 100 billion neurons in our brain. Each neuron has thousands of what we call dendrites. You've seen pictures of those neuron cells, and they have little fingers going out. It looks like a spider web or something like that. So the 100 billion neurons each have thousands of dendrites, which are possible connections with other neurons who also have thousands of dendrites. So the possible combinations over the synapses in your brain are somewhere between 100 and 1,000 trillion connections. So your brain is amazingly interconnected. It is joined in this huge, massive sort of way. So we keep that in our heads and just are baffled by that, but that possibility is there. We are interconnected already without even thinking about it. Now, just as we said we're connected in a number of ways, we are interconnected in a number of ways. We are biologically interconnected with every other human being on the planet. At some point, every person had common ancestors. And there have been a lot of theories. Anthropologists and archaeologists have studied this for many, many years, trying to figure out where were our original parents from, or where did we begin? And there are a lot of different theories about that. And just about the time somebody thinks they have proven that, somebody else comes up and disproves it, and it happens somewhere else. But the fact is, it had to be that way, that every human being could trace their lineage back to common ancestors. So we are interconnected biologically with the whole planet. And if this pandemic has done nothing else, it has illustrated that point for us very clearly. Because one virus cell in China, one virus cell in one city, in one country, now resulted in a pandemic over the whole globe, the whole planet. We are interconnected. So that is very clear to us. We would like to think that something like that would start somewhere and just stay right there. But the virus knows no boundaries of any kind whatsoever. And that proves to us that we are interconnected biologically. And it seems as if some people seem to have more of a resistance to the virus than others, but we're all subject to it. Nobody has a natural immunity to it, and we're working to try to find some medicine to deal with that. But in the meantime, we recognize this has brought us all together in the awareness of our interconnectedness biologically. We are interconnected emotionally as well. There's a whole branch of psychology that deals with mass psychology, or sometimes it's called mob mentality, in that we affect each other with our emotions. Have you ever seen a group of people get together and somebody starts chanting? And something at political rallies, this happens. I remember when one that stuck in my mind is that when Hillary Clinton was running, that lock her up thing. And here was a perfectly peaceful meeting together, and then one person jumps up and says, "Lock her up!" And then two people jump up and say, "Lock her up," and pretty soon the whole room then has gotten caught up into that. And what happens in mob mentality is that there are people who behave in ways in the middle of a mob that they wouldn't dare behave by themselves. There are people who say things in the throes of mob mentality they would never say to one other person. So we are interconnected emotionally. We feed off of each other with our emotions. So we're never just completely alone. So we are interconnected biologically, we are interconnected emotionally, and we are interconnected socially as well. In the way that we put things together out in the world, we are involved with each other. We all have our roles to play in our social institutions that are out in the world. And now, especially with our using the internet so much, we are interconnected socially through the media. And we can let everybody in the world know how you're feeling this morning. When Facebook, when I first got introduced to Facebook, I thought, well, I'll see what this is like. And I was reading these things that people say, well, I got up at 7 o'clock this morning and I had fried eggs for breakfast, and then I brushed my teeth and then combed my hair, and I thought, do these people have nothing else to do other than do all of this online to let everybody know? But it proves, though, that we are interconnected socially, that our lives are woven together in a way that will never, ever be the same. It will never be less, and especially after going through this time of being locked up at home. Those things have spread and gotten stronger and more involved. So we are interconnected socially. We are also interconnected spiritually. Now, just as we are connected individually to spirit, we are also interconnected because we are all one. It's not just a matter that I am one with Spirit and you are one with Spirit. We are all one. It all goes back to the very same source. As our affirmation that we had today says, like rivers flowing from one source, we are all connected. So this interconnection pervades our whole life. Everything that goes on around us, we are interconnected. Now, this may seem, okay, yeah, that's really obvious, Lawrence. You haven't said anything earth-shattering in that. I knew that. But the important thing is to realize it consciously and to live out of this consciously. It's one thing to say, yeah, I know I'm connected, so what? I know I'm interconnected, so what? But what if we are conscious about that? What if I go through my daily life, I am conscious of being connected biologically, emotionally, socially? What if I go through my day being conscious of being interconnected? And that on some level, even if it's a subtle, energetic level, everything I do has an impact on the rest of the world because I am interconnected. Everything I say has an impact on those I am intimately connected with. And when I begin to live consciously, it makes a difference. We don't just go blundering through life, letting whatever happen. We are being conscious about that. And we realize that we're never, ever truly alone. You know, there may be times, and it's very sad, I've heard people say that I'm alone at home. I feel alone at home, even though I'm not the only person in the house. And that's a very sad thing, to be around somebody and still feel alone. You may feel alone from time to time, but you can never be truly alone because not only are we connected, we are interconnected. And that means we're always together, even if it's on a very subtle, energetic level. And we're also together spiritually. We are one in spirit. And that's important for us to remember and to live that way consciously, to bring that into mind. Now, I mentioned last week, or 2 weeks ago maybe, that I'm working on a project now called a hybrid human. And that is how that we truly bring together, as in cars, I think, the Prius was the first one that came out that had electric engine and a gas engine in it, and they work together in that way. Well, we are spirit and we are human. And how we work those things together shows up in our life. And when we become what I'm calling a hybrid human, we bring those things to an equal level where they both are influencing the other. And we are able to live, again, consciously as a hybrid human. I know that everything I do involves my humanness, and in the same instant, everything I do involves spirit as well. And when we hold that in our mind and we are aware of that as we live, it will make a difference in how we speak. It will make a difference in how we think. It will make a difference in the kind of feelings that we hold within us. It will shape who and what we are in a very positive way as we are aware of this interplay between spirit and our humanness. So we are completely interconnected. Now, I was thinking about this. The phrase, no man is an island, came to my mind as I was talking about being connected and being interconnected. And I couldn't remember who first said that, and I looked it up in my good friend Google and came up with John Donne was the author of that phrase. And there's a poem entitled, No Man is an Island. And I'd like to close with that poem. No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as any manner of thy friends or of thine own were. Any man's death diminishes me, because I am involved in mankind, and therefore never sinned to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. And I go back to that phrase, I am involved in mankind. We are connected. We are interconnected. Let us be so consciously, deliberately. And I encourage you in this week as we go through more of our being cloistered at home and not working, or perhaps working from home, all the changes that have been brought about this pandemic, I invite you to keep in mind this week that being conscious of being connected and being interconnected in all that you do. Be conscious of that fact. Keep that in your mind and live accordingly. I also shared with you recently, I'm going to create a video as soon as we figure out which platform we're going to be using. But some of you were involved in the Unity broadcasting system. I did a class in this about a year ago, I guess. I'm going to put that on so everybody can have access to it. But the heart of the Unity broadcasting system is this very sense of being connected and being interconnected. And it is a deliberate way of our being able to practice our interconnection, not just sitting here saying, well, I'm interconnected and that's it. What do I do with that? How do I use that to my benefit and the benefit of others? So all these things are beginning to come together. And when you find yourself in the middle of this pandemic, feeling negative, feeling sad, feeling frustrated, and all the things that go along with the changes and the restrictions that we had to experience, I invite you to come back to that truth. I am connected. I am interconnected. I am one. God bless you, my friends.
And as we bring our attention now to an offering time, we are so blessed to have the many of you connected with us who are supporting us financially by your usual giving. Some of you who are newer to Unity of Pompano and maybe tuning into our broadcast for the first time, you've been generous in finding that donate button on our website and sending a donation. unitypompanobeach.org. We thank you so very much because it enables us to continue. We did really well in March. We had a bit of a deficit, but we could cover it. And I believe April will see us clearing our way through to continue being a spiritual beacon for all of the world. So share our links and share our ideas, share our free meditation times, share our classes, and let's continue to be that spiritual path for others. Unity is known as a positive path for spiritual living. So let's just practice it by sharing. If you are shopping online, if you have an Amazon account or plan to start one, would you please go to smile.amazon.com and get set up, because if you just choose Unity Church of Pompano Beach, then Amazon will send us a very small percentage, but nevertheless, a donation on your purchases. And all of us shopping these days, it adds up to a little bit for us that will help defray our utility costs, for instance. So we appreciate your shopping online with us. And we are showing on the screen a number of ways to donate. We will be checking into Zelle as well. For our regular members who are already on our list as a regular contributor, we would have your information because we always want to give you credit when you do give here, so that you get credit at the end of the year for your charitable donations, and so you can see just how important your spiritual life has been to you. So you can text, you can use bill pay on your bank, which is totally free. You can use an ACH donation when you go to the website link. And of course, there's always credit card. So we just appreciate these many ways that you are giving to us. And as you think about what you're going to give and get ready to give it, we have an affirmation here that we often use, and I'm going to share it with you now. Some of you have this memorized. It's called "Good is Mine." With a grateful heart, we acknowledge God as source of all that is. Today, we let go of any concern of lack, and we allow God to unfold in our lives. Good is ours. Good and more good is ours, and ever-increasing good is ours. Everywhere we go, we see this good. We feel it, we experience it, we freely give it, and it multiplies itself around us. And so it is. Amen.
If you're watching at home, it's okay to clap your hands. Oh, something great has happened. Love has taken hold and won't let go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion. We're drops in one ocean. Roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Oh, every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode to no heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of a highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together. Yeah. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word, one dream, one voice, one heart, one word, one dream, one voice, one heart, one word. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gift with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now.
Thank you, band, so very much. And as we come to a conclusion here this morning, if you are feeling lonely, if you are feeling alone, just know that that is an error thought in your mind and reach out to us. We have 16 prayer chaplains who are standing by to offer you prayerful support, to hold you in their heart, to hold you in their mind, and be connected to you. You may receive a phone call or email from them if you request that on the prayer request form. It's at unitypompanobeach.org. And if you're feeling that you don't feel a connection to spirit, that's okay too. You're connected anyway. Look out the window, find something in nature to see, to focus your thought on. Put a smile on your face. That's spirit with you right there in that center of calm and peace. Or like us, think about your grandchildren, and that'll make you smile too. So as we close this morning, those of you that know the standard unity prayer for protection, please join in with us. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Happy Sunday.